until the final siren.
Richmond's VFL side had its first loss for the season against the Frankston Dolphins on Friday night. The Dolphins got up by 25 points in some last quarter heroics, it must be said. A bit of a disappointing loss for us, if I'm being totally honest. We had the game relatively under control, and at three-quarter time, we kind of just stopped. There was a few little bits and pieces that didn't go our way, and I don't want to blame a loss on the umpiring, but there was over 60 free kicks paid in a game, which is just completely ridiculous. There was a ton missed. It was a very frustrating watch, it must be said. And the boys, I think they just lost their way a little bit, including Jacob Bauer, who threw the ball into the fence after he wasn't paid a mark, which, look, maybe on the surface you don't love to see, but I can also share his frustration as well. But we'll take a look at the goal kickers quickly. Jacob Bauer, the man I just spoke of, he kicked 4 goals. Massimo Razzo kicked 3. He had 14 disposals, 3 marks, and again, just showing why we have to try and manufacture a way to get him available for the mid-season draft if we can select him. Jasper Alga, 2 goals. Tyler Sonsie, 1 goal, which I'll get to shortly. And Tom Sims, 1 goal. Jasper Alga, for me, God, he's got to be close to getting a senior call-up. This kid can seriously play football. And despite him being the youngest player, I think almost in the competition, let alone just our club, he looks like an experienced head. He plays a lot taller than what he is. He can play sort of medium. He can play small. Great goal sense. I think the 2 goals he got were both snaps, like set shot snaps from the boundary line. He chases well. 4 tackles. Got a clearance. It's only a matter of time before this kid plays, and I'm pumped for it. Tyler Sonsie, for the love of God, can we play him in the middle of the ground in the AFL, please? Just for 4 or 5 weeks so we can see if this can be replicated. Keep in mind, Tyler Sonsie was subbed off in the VFL at three-quarter time because he was a carryover player for the AFL. Up to that point, he still had 35 disposals, would you believe? 35 touches, 1 goal, 5 marks, 3 tackles. I only had the 1 clearance this time, but he was kind of turned into being the player on the secondary pass from the clearance and was able to deliver the ball. He is a great user of the football, finds it a lot, and again, we did the live VFL call, and a lot more people are starting to sort of say the same thing, that we just have to see what this kid's got in the midfield at AFL level, where you can just see how this is going to play out. We're going to keep putting him in the VFL, he's going to smash it, come back into the AFL, play him at half forward, rinse and repeat, and he'll go look somewhere else for opportunities. He'll walk into someone else's AFL club's midfield and smash it. You just know it's going to happen. But to the point I was going to make before, if at AFL level we are adamant on bringing in a half forward, and that's typically been Sonsie for whatever strange reason, we are honestly better off bringing in Jasper Alga to play the half forward role, because he is actually a half forward player. Believe it or not, he plays the position well because that's what he trains, that's what he plays at VFL level, so then get him to play at AFL level. By contrast, you're putting in Sonsie, who plays midfield exclusively at VFL level, then comes into AFL level and plays in a position he's not training in. Well, he does train there, I suppose, but he's not playing in to practice what he's been training. So it's not really matching what they're doing. So if you want to pick a half forward, pick a half forward. Don't pick Tyler Sonsie, who's a midfielder, and try and pass it off as a half forward, because it's not working at AFL level for him. And I feel bad for the kid, and I've said that before, and I'm getting very close to doing a Now Hear Me Out 2.0 on this. Very close. Anyway, I'm getting on a bit of a rant there. Josh Smillie, 14 disposals, similar handball to kick ratio as Lawler in the AFL, which I'd love to see flipped. He had 4 kicks, 10 handballs, 3 tackles, 3 clearances, looked really good when he had the ball in hand, strong unit, can get his arms up in handball, can shove off players. He is a man mountain, but look, had he done enough to warrant selection this week against Melbourne? Probably not. Now, if I'd been saying for a couple of weeks now that I thought all roads were leading to an Anzac Eve debut, and I was saying that, though, based on my assumption that we were going to lose to the Gold Coast Suns. The fact we beat the Suns, though, I don't think we can change the side too much. And because of that, I don't think Smillie will play. But even based on actual exposed form, he's probably another week or 2 away anyway. I just thought it was a good feel and a good vibe, good energy to play him in front of that type of crowd. But yeah, with us winning, it now makes more sense to just leave the side as is, and he keeps playing in VFL to build up his form. So he played about 3.5 quarters. Probably faded a little bit in the second half, to be honest, so he's maybe still got some work to do on his tank potentially. But when he's got ball in hand, he's a wonderful user of the ball. So that's going to be of huge benefit when he does make the AFL grade. Kane McAuliffe, 26 disposals, 2 marks, 5 tackles, 7 clearances. He had a really, really good game. He's got some good explosive speed from stoppage as well. And he obviously got very unlucky with that foot injury. He was probably right on the cusp of playing AFL before that happened. So he still might yet be playing another couple of games in the VFL to crack into the AFL side. But I would love to see him play 8 or 9 games in the back half of the year minimum, because I think he's got a lot to offer at AFL level. And he's another one that I'm starting to get gradually scared about maybe losing for opportunity. So hopefully we can hold on to him. Caleb Smith had 33 disposals, 7 marks, 4 tackles, 4 clearances. That's a pretty good game for Caleb Smith. For anybody, I shouldn't say it. That sounded very disparaging, but it wasn't meant like that. That's a good game under anyone's level of football. So well done to him. Fawcett, 14 disposals, 5 marks, 5 tackles. I'm just going through some of the AFL listed players here. Kazitsky, he had 13 disposals, 4 marks. Jacob Blight, 13 disposals, 6 marks, 3 tackles. I kind of thought he might have done a bit better at VFL level, if I'm being honest. He did okay, but there was a few blunders and a few things that I would have thought were maybe out of his game now at that level in particular. But yeah, I don't think he'll come back in this week anyway, because he's now trying to dislodge Bolter or Miller or Samson Ryan, but Samson Ryan's a better ruck. But Blight's might be a better forward. There's a bit of juggling there. Who knows. Hayes Brown, 12 disposals, 11 hit-outs, 2 tackles, 3 clearances. The other one that impressed me was actually Matej Kalina. He had 8 disposals, 2 tackles, 21 hit-outs, but he was actually doing really well at ground level. Like, he was picking up the ball, dishing out handballs, throwing his weight around with a couple of shepherds. Tap ruckwork was looking really, really good as well. I'm still holding out a little bit of hope for him. And that might seem really crazy on the surface, but you got to remember, he's actually got a football background. Like, he was playing NAB League level. I know it's called Coates League now, hence that. He was playing good level of football up until under 16s. So he knows what he's doing. It's not like a complete noob to AFL. So, yeah, I'm really glad that we kept him and are getting his back injury right to give him a chance to play well, so we can also see what we've got with him. I think there could be something in there in the long term. So I really hope we keep persisting with him. And Tom Sims, he had 6 disposals, 1 goal, 1 mark, 1 hit out, 1 clearance. That's probably a quieter game for Sims. I'm not sure if the conditions were completely ideal for big men, but he's going to have fluctuations of up and down form. So it is what it is. But yeah, bad loss for the VFL, it must be said. They had him on toast and they blew their chances in the last quarter. So they'll hopefully learn and bounce back from that. But yeah, a few guys putting their hands up. So maybe not this week because we had a win in the AFL, but maybe in the coming weeks we might see some changes depending on form lines and things like that. But it's exciting to see, and make sure you like and subscribe for more AFL and VFL content for the Tigers. And I'll see you for the next one. Go Tigers.